everyone, my name is Courtney. I write under the pen names Lyra Parish, and I'm one half of the USA Today bestselling duo Kennedy Fox. And today we are going to talk about a few things to help you avoid burnout. Guys, I understand burnout. Oh, do I understand burnout. As most of you know, I do work a full-time job, a corporate job where I have to be there from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. I recently got a new job about a year ago at my same employer, so things have slightly changed for me, but before that, I was a supervisor, and so I had employees who worked for me, which meant that I worked a whole lot more than what I work right now. Whenever we would have special projects, we would have to work weekends. It was crazy. So it was really important for me to stay focused on my deadlines while I had that job. In December of 2017, I was promoted to a lead accounting position. Guys, it's not as glorious as it sounds. Trust me. And so things are a little different because I'm no longer managing people. And so basically when I go to work, I worry about myself and I go home. But still, we have deadlines. And right now we are not ahead with our books, which means we are writing deadline to deadline, which means as soon as we're done pushing publish on one book, it's immediately off to the next book. And it's been like that for pretty much 2 years. But we are taking this time in December. Remember the crazy December month with all these deadlines? To try to catch up so then we're not constantly writing deadline to deadline. So since I pretty much live my life trying to avoid burnout, I thought I would share a few tips that have helped me over the last few years. So let's go ahead and get started. The first tip that I have is to take real vacations. I'm not talking about working vacations where you take your laptop and you're constantly working while you do that, because I do a lot of those throughout the year. I only have 3 weeks vacation, guys. Usually 2 of those weeks are spent working and then I take 1 real vacation. But every year during my birthday, me and my husband take a real vacation. There is no computer packed. It is our anniversary and our birthday week. It's all in the same week, which was done on purpose. And we take that week every year to just be together and enjoy our birthdays and celebrate our anniversary. And I think it's so important to disconnect every once in a while, so then you're not just constantly in the groove. It helps me whenever I take a real vacation, because whenever I come back, of course I'm going back to work, but I feel refreshed and rejuvenated, like I can actually restart. Number 2, take time to journal, meditate, or even exercise. I find that whenever I exercise several times throughout the week, I am more motivated to actually get work done. I'm a lot more calm and more focused. So I think that it's important to focus on your physical health as well whenever you're writing and working full-time like me. But I also take time to journal. I bullet journal, guys. I'm actually going back to paper bullet journaling, which I will bring you along with me whenever I do my Play With Me for next year. I've gone back to journaling quite a lot, and it's just basically writing down my thoughts for the day, how I feel, things of that nature, and then exercising. Sometimes meditation also helps, to just take 10 minutes during a day to just sit there with your eyes closed and focus. The only thing with meditation is sometimes I will fall flat asleep, especially if I have those meditation sounds going. So that brings me to my next point, which is to take naps. I am the nap queen. When I get home from work, if I'm exhausted, I'm gonna take me an hour nap or a 2-hour nap. And then when I wake up, I'm refreshed. It's like I'm starting my literary day. It might be 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, but I feel refreshed and I work for 4 hours and then I go back to bed and go to work. I call them power naps, but they're way longer than 15 or 30 minutes. Usually my naps last about 2 hours, but when I need a nap, guys, I take a nap. I don't care. Like, especially when I'm on deadline, if I take a nap, I know that I'm adding 2 more hours that I can work because I'm not so exhausted. And I feel like after I wake up from a nap, I can focus more. So naps for everybody every single day. Number 4, I say do things that bring you joy. Every day I keep a list of things that I'm grateful for. I have done that for the last 2 years. I will write down one thing that for the day that I'm very, very grateful for. And I think taking that moment to do things that give you joy on the weekends, at night, whatever the case is, I think that that really helps. When you're constantly working, like for me, if I was to go to work from 8 to 5, have dinner from 5 to 6, and then work from 6 until 12, 1 o'clock, I would have been burnout years ago. I know my limits. I think that doing those little things that bring you joy throughout the week or throughout the months really, really help you not stay 150 million% focused, which will help you avoid burnout. Little things. Go and get a snow cone with your husband. Take a ride to Starbucks and, get a coffee. Just small things. It doesn't have to be something big. Go to Target and shop in the dollar bin. That always makes me happy. Just little things like that. Little things that make you smile. Number 5, set working hours. If you wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning and you write until you just go to sleep, you are going to burn out so freaking quick that it is not even funny. And if you did that every single day, you're just setting unrealistic goals for yourself. So I think that it's important to set working hours and to abide by those. For me, I don't really set working hours, mainly because I have a limited time that I can do literary stuff because I do work from 8 to 5. I don't think that it's necessary to work yourself into the ground and work every minute of every single day. And I think if you have set time that you're going to do something, you're more likely to get the stuff done that you need to do because you are giving yourself a limited amount of time. So that leads me to the next one. Set realistic goals. I think that we all know our limits, and if you're like, today I'm going to write 20,000 words, you have to think to yourself, is that a realistic goal? Because if you push yourself and push yourself and push yourself to these unrealistic goals and you constantly don't make them, then it gets frustrating. And frustration leads to burnout, guys. So I think it's important to set realistic goals. So since I work Monday through Friday, my goal is to write 1,500 words Monday through Thursday every day, and to take care of little tasks like making teasers or putting images in 3D books or updating the website, stuff like that. So that's what I do during the week. And then on Fridays, my only goal, if I don't have anything going on, is to just write until I go to sleep. So 8:30, 9 o'clock until 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. On Saturdays, if I don't have anything going on, I'll wake up usually and have breakfast. I'll come home, I'll write, take a break, have dinner, and then I'll write until 1 or 2 in the morning. And same thing on Sundays. It's basically the same thing every single day. But I have realistic goals set for my Monday through Thursday because I am working and I don't always get off at 5 o'clock. Sometimes it's 6, sometimes it's 6:30. It just kind of depends on what's going on. During the beginning of the month, it's like super hectic for me, so it's hard to say I'm gonna write 3,000 words in a night on the first 8 business days of the month, just because I'm so busy at work that I am mentally exhausted by the time that I get home. And I still shoot for my 1,500 words, but if I don't make it during the first 8 business days of every month, I'm not beating myself up because I realistically know that maybe that wasn't a great goal for me, which brings me to my next one. Do not allow your failures to distract you, and don't beat yourself up over them. I think it's easy to push, release if you're a self-published author, and say you release and you have a release that doesn't do so well. And so it's easy to wallow in that and to be like, oh, poor pitiful me. And sometimes if you've pushed so hard and then you've done nothing but write for the last 6 weeks straight, you push really hard, you have your release, and then it fails, and then you experience burnout. You're like, well, if you're me, you might question everything that you've ever thought because that's what happens. But instead of allowing your failures to completely just obliterate all of your momentum, I think it's important to learn from our failures because failure is the greatest teacher. Number 7, know when your time is better spent elsewhere. So when I say that, I'm talking about hiring people to help you do things that you are currently doing. So for example, we have a PR company that helps us with a lot of our release stuff and different tasks throughout the month because our time is better spent writing than to make sign-up forms and things like that for our next release. So I think that it's important to know when it's time to hire somebody to do things for you instead of you trying to do all these little tasks like, oh my God, I have to update my website, I have to update my social media, I have to send out a newsletter, I have to make teasers, I have to put my book in an iPad so then I can put it on another thing, and then I gotta make banners for Facebook. I mean, the list goes on and on. Oh, and also, you need to write 30,000 words. So you have all these little things going on, so it's really easy to get super overwhelmed. And I think that if you hire people to help you with those little tasks, even if it's a virtual assistant, a VA, or a personal assistant, sometimes taking off those little bitty tasks that maybe are important but take up your time writing, sometimes it's good to go ahead and hire somebody to help you do those things. So then you don't have a list of 30 things, you have a list of maybe 10 things, and to check on this person who's responsible for these other 20 things, if that makes any sense at all. It makes it a lot easier to manage, and it helps you not be so overwhelmed, which then also leads to the dreaded burnout. And the last thing I'll say is to make time for the people that you love. It is really easy to get 100% focused with those same blinders on your computer, writing, come home from work, eat, get on your computer, write, and then you realize, oh, I haven't talked to my husband all day. You know, I think it's important to take time to spend time with the people that you love, guys, because this life is limited and we only have a very short amount of time. Like, it's important for us to spend time with the people that we love. And I know that there's deadlines, and I know that there's books due, and I know that so-and-so needs this, and that email needs to get sent, and that newsletter needs to get written, and all this stuff is going on. But you're never too busy to take an hour out of your time to be with your spouse or your kids or whatever the case is. You don't want to look back in life and regret not doing that. So what I do is every single day, Brooke will attest to this, every single day I make sure that I eat dinner with my husband uninterrupted. My cell phone usually does not come out of my pocket. So if you're texting me when I'm having dinner, just forget it. You're not going to get an answer. You will just have to wait until afterwards. I take that hour out of my day, that 1 hour, to have dinner with my husband every day. On the weekends, we try to do breakfast together and dinner, of course, but during the week it's a lot harder for me because I do work so much, and then, you know, I come home, now it's dark because of the time change, and then it's time to eat dinner, and you know, I've added a YouTube video in to that time, and then I take a shower, and then I wash my clothes, and then it's 9 o'clock and it's time to write. I think burnout for a lot of us is inevitable because we're always pushing. But I think that if you take the time to realize that maybe all that pushing really isn't that helpful, that it's not really making a difference, and you do different things to kind of break up your day. You set realistic goals, you meditate, you go exercise, you go and get yourself a Starbucks. If you do these small things through the day and you're not constantly 100% zoomed in on writing, I think it's easier to find joy in the task of doing it. And that's why I think for me, writing has continued to stay fun. It's not a job for me. Like, I want to do it all the time. And I think that's because right now my time is limited. So I know that I have to plan when I want to write. And it's really important for me to be able to get that time to do that. It's like an escape for me. And I absolutely love it. And I think that's the reason why I don't really experience burnout, is because I know that I can't do it all the time. It's that little light at the end of the tunnel of my day where I'm like, oh my God, I finally get to write. I finally get to do the things that I want to do. And I think it's so important to view it like that. When you start making sure that you're doing this every single day, 100% of the day, no breaks, looking at it, and that's when it becomes a job and it's no longer fun. So anyway, I encourage you to enjoy the little things in life. Take those naps, guys. Go and get that Starbucks drink and avoid burnout. If you feel like you are burning out, like it's taking you an hour to write 100 words, maybe you need to take a break. Maybe you need to step back and watch a Hallmark movie or something, or read a book, or do something else. Deadlines will always be there. Know your limits, set realistic goals, and you will conquer this. So anyway, that's all I've got, guys. I hope you're enjoying this video series. If you are, I hope that you leave a comment below, like this video, subscribe. I feel like a real YouTuber now. Press the little bell button. You know what that bell does. If you don't, I'm gonna tell you, because the bell lets you know when I upload a video. So subscribe, bell, like, comment. I've said all the things. Y'all know what to do. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut this video off, and I'll see you again tomorrow. All right, bye y'all. Have an awesome day. I'll see you later. Bye.